Yeah, we got another statue in the Gempire. What's going on, Geminites? I'm really excited about this piece. This is the fan art Hobgoblin quarter scale statue. I'm really excited because this is going to go with my Spider-Man villain wall. I always like when I get to add a piece to it. Stay tuned. We're going to do an unboxing. We're going to do a review, some close-ups, little character bio, and we're going to look at this piece, man. Whew, looks like we got everything out of the box. I made a hell of a mess. I'm going to have to clean this up later. But let's start unwrapping these pieces and start assembling Hobgoblin. Alright, so we got the base and the glider out here. The base has a gray building that's on a slant. And there's some good detail on this building, man. You got this clean looking angle here, but you got it all rubble over here. We'll talk more about it in the paint. Here goes the glider. Metal looking tin kind of a glider. Where's the glider? Like a glove. Alright guys, there goes Hobgoblin all assembled. You know what? Not that difficult to assemble. I mean, even though it's a lot of pieces. But man, this is a it's a crazy piece as far as the engineering, because like the building's on a slant, Hobgoblin's on a slant. Everything is weighed out to make sure that it's in balance. The cape is not too lightweight, man. It feels really I don't know, it feels like polystone. It doesn't really have a hollow feel, but I don't know. Anyway. Wow, I'm just kind of soaking it all in right now, guys. So, it's a big chunk of a piece, man. So, comes with 4 portraits. I believe it was 3 portraits, and then you had an option for the Mcfarland one. But we'll go over all that later. First things first, let's do a little character bio on Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin was first created by Roger Stern and John Romita Jr. and first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man 238 in March of 1983. The cover was actually done by John Romita Sr. and Jr., which I always thought was really cool, man, because a father-son collaboration on an iconic cover of Hobgoblin ripping Spider-Man's costume in half. It's one of my top Spider-Man covers of all time. Hobgoblin was created by Roger Stern because Marvel wanted to bring back Green Goblin in a storyline, and Roger Stern didn't want to bring back Norman Osborn, so he created a whole other Goblin. Hobgoblin basically raided one of Green Goblin's hideout posts and stole all his gear and became Hobgoblin. Now, there's been multiple characters who've played Hobgoblin in the past. You got Roderick Kingsley, you got Arnold Donovan, you've got Ned Leeds, Phil Urich, Jason McIndale, and Daniel Kingsley. Now, Jason McIndale is the one who actually gets the power of a demon in the Inferno storyline, where he's got that long tongue and it's not just a mask anymore. We actually have a portrait for that we'll show off. I actually always liked Hobgoblin because I grew up in the 90s, and in the Spider-Man animated series, Hobgoblin was the prominent goblin of that cartoon. It wasn't until the end of the series that Green Goblin even showed up, and I believe that was even in like an Elseworlds type of scenario where they had Spider Carnage and all the multiple Spider-Men from the different universes. So I always liked Hobgoblin. This portrait right here is your classic John Romita Jr. portrait. It also comes with an unmasked portrait, which is dope because it has a switch out hand of him holding the mask. So you get a little 2-for-1 there. You get the Demotic Macandale portrait, like I was mentioning, that has a purple tongue. The only thing with this statue is you need to glue the tongue in. So I'll have to do that before I'm able to display it with you guys. And then lastly, you have a Todd McFarlane inspired portrait. So, really cool, man. A lot of good switch out options on this. So let's do a little review. Like I mentioned in the beginning, you've got a good size base, big chunk of a building. It's on a slant. It's got some good coloring of grays and greens in it. The sculpt gives it some good storytelling with a lot of cracked concrete on this side here. You're seeing like the inner workings of this corner of concrete on the top of the building. You've got smoke coming from the glider that's connected to the building here. Here you have a ledge of a windowsill. And you have these two smoking pumpkin bombs that attach that basically he's throwing them and he's caught up to them. Kind of skirt on top of the building. The glider's really interesting. It has like a an old school metal vibe with the metal bolts in it. Kind of looks like a Triceratops in the front. But it's got a cool paint job to it. A metallic kind of brownish, silverish color. I like how his feet are locked into those harnesses. And even if you look on the top of the glider, it's got like this spine look with these tubes feeding into it. Kind of give you an idea of like how it works. Very goblin-esque pose with his legs poked out like that with the pointy shoes. With the paint job, they went for like a very metallic-y blue with a nice orange to it. The paint job is clean, man. They have clean lines. They have good shadowing in the boots. Good color to the Hobgoblin skin as far as the mask and the fingers. You got the white fingernails. The belt is the belt buckle is very similar to the front of his glider. Very dynamic, the way he's posed. There's his cape flowing in the wind, and he's got a pumpkin bomb in his hand ready to launch that thing. I like how also the cape is going up and out, so you can still see his back through this. What's interesting as well, there's a sculpted satchel that comes with him, but the strap is mixed media, and it's very rare that you see that in a piece of fan art like this. I don't know how I want to display it. This is probably the portrait that I'm going to use. Very strong magnets all around. The arm, when I put it in, was like, boom, clutched. This is a cool look too, man. His unmasked portrait has a lot of detail in it. The sculpt gives him a lot of emotion in his face, and I love how the mask looks in his hand. That's pretty cool, man. Paint job is good. I mean, for a factory paint job too, man. That's pretty cool. You could probably even pose him with his demonic face holding the mask because he doesn't need the mask anymore. He is the Hobgoblin. You know what I'm saying? Let's go on and pop that Mcfarland portrait. I forget the issue that McFarlane did the Hobgoblin. It's got to be in like the the early teens, the 3 teens. I'll put a picture up here to correct myself. But that was inspired by Mcfarland with those kind of long, straight, sharp teeth. I got some Gorilla Super Glue gel that I use when I break my statues because I'm always breaking something when I'm trying to move it around. Let me see if we can get going on getting this tongue glued in so we can take some pics with it and maybe have it for the review. Just a little dot's all you need. So let's let that sit for a few minutes. And that's all you need. Boom, there you go. Demonic Hobgoblin holding a mask. He no longer needs to wear a mask because he is the Hobgoblin, like I said. But let's take a look at what he looks like again with the with his hand. Regular hand here. Oh man, there you go. Dang, that might have to be the portrait too. A lot of great portraits on this. I mean, I really like all of them. You got me. Let's see how tall this thing is, man. The top of him is that pumpkin bomb. So you're looking at just under 25 inches. And as far as the depth, you're looking just about shy of 15 inches. And wow, this is actually, the depth is going to have to be more from this corner. I don't even know. Really, it doesn't matter because you can't buy this piece. This, I call it fan art because it's an unlicensed piece. It was sculpted by a buddy of mine, and it's very taboo because, like I said, it's unlicensed, kind of frowned upon as far as the bigger companies go. But honestly, it's really more like a hobby, no pun intended. You know, there was a very limited amount of these produced, and really the cost kind of just offsets the commissioner's cost and allows him to get, you know, a free statue that he envisioned. Yeah, sometimes make a few dollars, which ends up going right back into the hobby anyway. Again, no pun intended. So with that being said, you know, we can't really talk about the sculptor or the company or the commissioner or anything like that. But I'm glad to add this into the collection. I had a Sideshow Comic Cat Hobgoblin, but it was really 1/5 scale, and all my stuff is really quarter scale. So I was willing to get rid of that and take a gamble on this. But as you can see, with these pieces of fan arts, you know, they're not on a professional level, but the factories are the same factories. The sculptors are the same sculptors in some cases. And you get a quality piece. You don't have to worry about it being like a crappy piece or whatever. But yeah, I guess that's about it for this review, man. I think we covered everything. We talked about, we unboxed it, we assembled it, we talked about the character. I gotta be honest, I think this is Ned Leeds. I'm not really sure who this is supposed to be. I'll put a correction over the screen here because I'm not really sure. But yeah, that's it, man. So drop me a like on the way out. Drop me a comment. What do you think about the piece? Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more statue unboxing and reviews, along with other daily content, omnibus hauls, recent reads, which is like comic story reviews, Comic-Con coverage, live shows, live auctions. We always have something going on at Gem Mint Collectibles, so y'all make sure to stay tuned. Hit the bell so you know when we drop something new. And y'all stay minty. Peace.